Hello YouTube, it's Channel Anna Bella, and you can tell that last night's Doctor Who episode, Extremis, which is episode 6 of series 10, was the Stephen Moffat one, hence why this review is taking me a little longer to put together. Okay, what do you get when you cross Harry Potter, Grand Theft Auto, The Matrix, and Doctor Who, plus the holodeck from Star Trek? Extremis is what you get. Extremis, the Cambridge Dictionary defines extremis as an extremely difficult situation. It also has a medical definition of certain death, or near death, just to let you know. Extremis has, as an episode, 2 main sort of storylines that intersect. It has a long time ago storyline, which is how the Doctor got Nardole back and the Missy, and how Missy got put in the vault, and also how the Doctor got River Song's diary. Oh yes, Extremis also merges with The Notebook, both the novel and the film. Do check it out, it's a lovely romance. Anyway, moving away from Ryan Gosling. So you've got the first bit, which is how the Doctor got Missy in the vault. That isn't a spoiler, most people have probably guessed, because I mean, who would play a piano in the vault, and who would he have dinner with in a vault? What was interesting was Missy. These are spoilers, by the way. This whole review is going to be spoilers. We're at episode 6. Episode 6 is part of a trilogy, so 6, 7, and 8 are all going to be interlinked, which takes me back to classic Who days, which I think is rather good. So we've got Missy giving him condolencing due to the passing of a certain song and things, and also the Daleks knowing about his domestic bliss on Trenzler, which I found quite quaint. Anyway, moving on. So the first sort of main story is how the Doctor got Missy and how he got Nardole and how they all ended up on Earth, waiting around for 1,000 years with this vault business, which is all to do with this fatality planet. Moving on. And the fatality index. I'm loving the fact that the guy was just sort of like checking the Doctor's fatality count, and everybody else is sort of like running away, like running. It was hilarious. And he was like, "But you're unarmed," and he's like, "I'm always unarmed." And more people leave. Yeah, the hilarity. Anyway, moving on. Yes, there was some funny moments. And then there was this whole business with the Pope, the Vatican, and an email. Yes, there are many, many questions we could ask about this. I'm loving the use of the Matrix glasses. Loved that. That was a great way of getting round blindness. Though why on earth the Doctor couldn't learn Braille? I mean, it's not difficult. I can read grade 1. It's not hard. I'm sure as a Time Lord he could have learned the Braille coding system pretty quickly. But hey-ho. What can you do with people who clearly don't understand Braille? I'm sure he could have learned grade 1 and possibly grade 2. You know, it's not hard. But hey-ho. Would have been cool if Braille was included, but I digress. I thought that him doing that weird sort of electronic thing with his eyes was a bit strange. There are many, many questions, and obviously we don't have all the answers. I'm loving the fact that what Nardole did, I thought that was great. I'm loving the fact that we didn't quite know where those droplets of blood came, but the Doctor ended up with a cut over his eye, so how did he get that? We don't know when he was in the Oval Office. Really, really good. Yes, the whole Veritas thing, Veritas is Latin for truth, by the way, was interesting. I'm loving that we went to CERN. CERN is awesome. And all sorts of other geek references were in there. Loving the reference to the holodeck. Oh, I love the holodeck. But what was really interesting about that whole sort of time loop, yes, timey-wimey, yes, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, yes, stuff, was how on earth, because he got the email at the start of the episode when he was outside the vault, and then at the end of the episode when he was in the Oval Office he sent the email, which means that the whole thing is one of the Moffat time loops of doom. Yes, we're time looping of doom. So yes, actually the easiest stuff to learn about was the whole Missy thing, because that actually happened in chronological order. And I'm loving the fact that Bill goes on a date and the Pope ends up in her room. Hilarity! on many levels, but also a bit discriminatory and kind of worrying, but also funny. So yeah, it is kind of interesting, pretty much, but there are many questions, and we're not going to know all of the answers to it when you've got things like, but I'm loving the Matrix reference. I really love the use of the glasses, like, you're like, because he had sonic glasses before he got his blue sonic screwdriver. So I'm loving the fact that Peter Capaldi's Doctor has gone back to using those, and I'm loving the fact that when it comes up, they just sort of like mailed it, and all the data comes down. Very Matrix, and it was in green. I had flashbacks, and I'm loving the fact that those portals were oval, because that reminded me of like the thumbprint of Matrix code. In the Matrix, which was kind of awesome, because everything was like, oh, yes, total geek, I know, it's so sad, but hey ho, that's life, we have to live with it and keep, don't we? So yeah, my head is being cut off by this stupid thing, I'll hold it a bit further. So yes, so that is what happens when you cross Harry Potter, the Matrix, Doctor Who, the holodeck from Star Trek. I'm glad that we actually are getting some Star Trek references, because Star Trek was a good science fiction show, only it has now become cliche and techno-babble, because I mean, who wants to hear a red shirt techno-babble at you? Just kill them already and get on with the plot. Yeah. Hey ho for Star Trek. But yes, overall I really enjoyed it. Obviously we don't have all the answers, because we've got 2 more episodes in this trilogy, and I think by the end of it Missy is probably going to break out. And actually, she's probably going to, in the next one, actually help him, because he's asked her to. Whether that'll be a good thing for the universe, probably not. But hey, if the situation is extremely difficult, you need a fellow Time Lord to help you. I really want to know where Bill and Nardole are, because I think that's an interesting conundrum. There are so many questions for this episode. I'm sorry if it has been a tad non-spoilery this time, but you know, we don't have all the facts yet, and I'm loving the fact that we have got, what on earth is that? No witness, no this, that, the other, no something quote from River Song's diary, which was interesting, and that virtue was virtue's own reward, which reminded him to be the Doctor. So that was a lovely Notebook reference. Watch The Notebook. It is an awesome movie, and it will explain so much about Dr. Riversong and the Doctor's romance. Or is it Professor Riversong? Yes, it's Professor Riversong. Sorry, it's Professor Riversong and the Doctor. Sorry, confusion. But yeah, check out The Notebook and The Time Traveller's Wife and The Graduate, because they're the 3 things that have clearly inspired Moffat to do the whole Riversong and the Doctor thing. They're really good. Extremis, love it. There aren't enough Matrix references in science fiction anymore, but I did watch Doctor Strange movie that Benedict Cumberbatch was playing Doctor Strange. I really enjoyed that movie, and I'm loving the fact that they incorporated like the spells as programs, but it was kind of like, this is taking me back to my Matrix days. I still haven't seen Inception yet, which I really probably should, considering. Yeah, must do that. It's on my things to watch list, Inception. But what on earth this has got to do with Extremis? Check out Extremis. It's a brilliant episode. It will confuse you. There are 2 things going on, and the actual the whole Vatican reading Veritas thing, that doesn't get solved by the end of the episode, but he does manage to email himself, which gets him into the situation. So it's sort of like, which Doctor is real and what is real? The problem of the real. I love that. Yes, the spoon boy from the Matrix. But it is not the spoon that bends, it is yourself. Yes, very Buddhist. So yes, please like, comment and subscribe on this. I'm sorry that it's taken a little bit extra time, but I didn't want to rush this review because Stephen Moffat's... This was actually a simple time loop for Stephen. It was clearly there is more to it, and it's actually quite simple, but its conclusion is rather messy, or messily, as Hannibal Lecter would say. Messily. Love it. So yes, I'm very excited for episode 7 and 8. We've clearly, the whole sort of questioning, and we've clearly moved forward, and we're now firmly into timey-wimey, wobbly stuff. which is always good, but a bit worrying. And I'm loving the badass novel. Novel is awesome. So yeah, please like, comment and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of the episode Extremis in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Bye!